Sweta Konur, welcome to the Insta Live. How are you? Artist Fun 6, welcome to the Insta Live. Sushma Shreya, Dr. Palini Selvam, Life Coach, Premika Thakur, Ziana, Mohit Tahir Mirza, Rajat Sir, hello. Hello Premika ma'am, great to have you here. I am good, how are you all doing? Nihar, welcome to the Insta Live. Anupma ma'am, welcome to the Insta Live. How are you all doing? I am good, how are you? Our guest has joined, so before we move on with the real session of ours, so today basically, first of all, before we start, I just want to ask all of you, how's your day going? What's your energy level on a scale of 1 to 10? How is it going? Like, just write down in the chat box, how are you feeling right now? Bhupendra Singh, Image Consulting, welcome to the Insta Live. Shelly Singh, welcome to the Insta Live. I am fine, super awesome, I am good, amazing. I am also fine, thank you for asking. 10 on 10, amazing. Malika ma'am, welcome to the not Insta Live, actually I must say the series that we are doing. Okay, so to all the people who are writing 5, 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, I just want to ask all of you, like, what will it take for you to make it a 10? Because today the personality who is going to come now, she is going to blow your mind. She's such a transformational woman, such an inspiring lady. She has already joined. I'm just going to send her the request in a minute. But before I send, I just want to introduce what we are doing and who is that amazing personality today. So basically, we are doing a series called Creating a History That Never Existed. 7 coaches for the 7 days they are going to join. Yesterday was our day 1 with Manisha Chopra. Thank you so much all for joining it, because the way she explained everything about the skincare, about your health, about body, about how to really put on the makeup, especially for women, because you know, we don't wear makeup for anything else, not to show anyone, not to prove anyone, but just for our own self-confidence. And if you agree with this point, just type below in the chat box, I agree. And now getting back to our second day, the second guest, Vaishali Gandhi Shah. She's a TEDx speaker, certified life coach, founder of Your Purpose company. And you know what? Her story is so transformational. When I heard it for the first time, she started something called Srujna Charitable Trust in 2011, and her basic, like the main mission is to get to the root cause, that is the basic foundation, the women in the village, to help them overcome their obstacles and to give them that hope, give them that ray of hope, so they can also start designing their lives. Because in village, mostly women, they are told to go in the, they are busy in the household work. Now it's shifting, hopefully, the change is happening, but still today we have some people who have this kind of mindset that women are not women are only for the household work, but not for their career, not to follow any of their dreams. So today, that personality, Vaishali Gandhi Shah, she started with only 30 women in the slum of Mumbai. She started her mission, and today she that center, the foundation, the mission of her, where it has reached around 23 centers, 8 states, over 8 states in 23 centers, and she has transformed around 55,000 lives. Can you believe it? Just give a love emoticon in the chat box to welcome the one and only, our guest for today, Vaishali, Gandhi, Shah. Okay, just a minute. Ma'am, can you just like send a request? I'm not able to send you. Thank you so much for the all hearts. Just keep on going with. Okay. Thank you for the hearts. Yes, she's here. Hello, how are you?
Gargi, I am super happy to be here. Love your energy, love your smile. Super infectious, super inspiring, amazing work that you're doing in the series. I am following you. And to be such a young, budding coaching star, you're a rock star. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having me here.
Thank you so much. And the people who are here, just keep on giving those hearts to her. You know why? Because she deserves all of them. So just keep on going on. And right now, what we are going to do is, I'm just going to start with our, like, the interview. And it's basically, rather than an interview, we are just having a conversation about the people, like what work are you doing, how a woman they can start to follow their dreams. So hope you are excited, and all of the people who are joining, they are also excited. So my first question to you is, like, first of all, it's such an honor to be with you on the stage, like we are sharing the stage. So my first question to you is, like, basically, how did you start on this journey? How did you get the idea? What inspired you to go on this path of transforming lives of women at such a deeper level?
Good question, and I'd like to be honest. Okay, first of all, transforming lives, I'd like to say I'm just facilitating change, and rest is just happening, just magic of the universe. Um, Me being in this place actually is a combination of two things. First is failures. I was at a point where I faced a lot of failures and I was not good at the things that I was doing. Imagine if I was just, cruising through, then I wouldn't have had the life experiences that would make me want to look at life more meaningfully. And so I give credit to failures. At that time, of course, it is heartbreaking, but honest to God, my failures at getting into the college that I wanted, doing the course that I wanted, getting the job that I wanted, actually made me introspect into life. And second thing was that I was done. I was just at a point where I was done living life superficially and I just wanted more meaning. I wanted to be in touch with who I am. So when both of those things met was the time that I could actually make sense of life. I got volunteering opportunities. I sort of attracted that into my universe because just that point of ho gaya ab mera karke. Abhi I just want to do something that makes sense. So for me, it was more of that.
Amazing, superb. So basically, your failures, they led you to the path to inspire, be a role model to the women. Super awesome. So if all of you are able to resonate with her story, that you know what, each one of us, for whatever we are doing right now in our lives, we still have a reason behind it. We have a story, because a story makes that connection, and that's why I always start with sharing the story, and your story was one of the most inspiring stories I've ever heard. Thank you so much for sharing that. Like, my next question to you is, like, you are you started something called Srujna Charitable Trust. I am pronouncing it right now. There's no. Okay. So, like, how did you start it? What were your challenges? Any personal challenges you had, or what's the main reason behind this organization?
So how I started was just I was at a point where I was at a junction when I wanted to do something like this. At that time, I volunteered. That was my opening door into looking at the world of NGOs, helping people, and just after the doing the work, you feel like your belly is full, like you feel satisfied. It was just like a glimpse that I had, and I wanted more. Right? In terms of what are the challenges I've had when we started. I was about all of 24. So we were two co-founders. Both of us were young. Both of us were inexperienced. So our challenges were huge. First of all, I'd like to begin by saying that social developmental work is not easy. It is a complex layer of multifold problems that exist within our society. And when we started, we were really naive. हमें just वो enthusiasm था कि कुछ करना है, अच्छा काम करना है, लोगों की help करनी है, and we didn't really understand the complexities of it. So in all honesty, we were lost. We didn't have that kind of confidence that, you know what, we will make it or whatever. And to add to it, we had like these people who would look at us as, they're just two young people, they don't have any idea. Or at that time, like 11 years ago, NGOs were famous for everything wrong. Okay. So they would look at us with skepticism, saying, what are two MBA girls doing in this profession? Kuch jol japat kar rahe ho, whatever that was. So we were meeting uncertainty plus skepticism together. So it was a difficult combination. But at the end of the day, I would say what survived was our passion and our heart. Because our heart was over there, we felt like pushing through. And we felt like sustaining ourselves. So that's pretty much like the beginning of the journey, I'd like to say.
Amazing. To all the people who are here, can we just give a smiley in the chat box for whatever she is like? She's sharing her story, she's sharing how she started. So I would love for all of you to give a smiley or a heart in the chat box. So, that point really impacted me, like hit me strong, that the passion, you kept on following your heart rather like listening to what other people used to think about the NGO, what other people used to say or criticize or judge, whatever. These things always happen when we are actually starting on this path. So hats off to you for always pushing through, because there are two kinds of people in this world. First, who always push through the challenges that they face, and the second, who always back out. So you were one of them who actually pushed through your challenges. Thank you so much for sharing and for doing what you do. Hats off.
So can I say that
Yes,
I actually belonged to the category of people who would back off. And you were right when you said that there are two kinds of people. But what I'd also like to share is that you can switch. And I made that switch. And that switch happened because of my passion. But I would like to even invite everybody in the audience to sort of not label yourself, rather be aware that I want to switch. And it's possible.
Superb. So just write in the chat box, I switch, if you are one of them who actually used to give up, but now listening to her story, listening to what all she does even after facing those challenges, just write down in the chat box, switch, if you are ready to switch your mode from a victim to a victor energy. So now getting back to the just one more thing, if any one of you has any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat box and we are going to answer. We would be just happy to answer it. The third question to you is, since you work with the women who are basically in the village, so you try to inspire them. I have one question, like, what I have personally observed is gradually this mindset is changing, but still we have some people in the village, even women, even men, even their families, that they don't allow women to fly. She has wings, she maybe believes in her own capability, but just because of those societal restrictions, she's not able to follow her dreams, even if her heart is just crying out. So at that point of time, like, how do you help such women if suppose they have that self-belief, but still the family is not supporting, and due to the family pressure, that woman has lost that belief in her own self also. So how do you deal with them?
Unfortunately, Gargi, what you're saying is true for a lot of women, right? But having said that, we are living in this structure. Okay? side effect of patriarchy बोल देते. We are living in this structure. But I also think it is this structure that makes us come out as warriors on the top. Because if we are not challenged enough, I keep giving this example that agar Britishers nahi hote, you know Jhansi ki Rani, right? She fought valiantly against the Britishers. But agar Britishers nahi hote, would you know Jhansi ki Rani? So if there are
No.
people who challenge you, they give you the opportunity to fight and shine. And I feel I see so many women who are so multi-talented, who are so full of potential, full of energy, and they're survivors because they fought against that structure and they can stand and they can shine. So I'll take it as both a boon and a curse. But having said that, if they are in a structure where people are not allowing, what we do as an NGO is we go into the community because हाँ permission culture है जहाँ पे permission लेनी पड़ती है, good or bad, whatever. So what we do is we create local employment opportunities within the community as a community. So when it's a single woman, she doesn't stand a chance. But when they're a group, they can survive, they can thrive, they can support each other. And slowly the mindset change penetrates. And so instead of calling them out of the community, which not just patriarchy, but also the fact that they have responsibilities, उनके बच्चे होते हैं, उनका घर होता है, उनको ध्यान रखना होता है, and they want to, right? They opt for it. So rather go to them, give them the opportunities from where they start. That's our strategy.
Super awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And if all of you are able to resonate with the conversation, please write in the chat box just that love emoticon once again, or whatever you are feeling after listening to her and what all she's sharing with all of us. So just give her some love, show her some love, because she's here for all of you. So thank you so much for sharing that. And now my next question to you is like basically, if let's say, like, is there any self-love tip that you would like to give to the women in the room? Because
To the
always
women in
it's
the room?
important. Yes.
Yes, of course. I would say women are so dutiful, no? They feel that duty towards themselves, their family, etc. But I would say their first duty is towards themselves. You've been given this body, this mind, this whole package. You have to take care of it as a duty towards yourself. So self-love कोई luxury नहीं है. I would say self-love is your duty towards yourself, and also your way to fill your own bucket. If you want to be a giver, you want to give, right? But if your bucket is empty, what will you give? So your best bet at filling your bucket is self-love. Fill and then give. It will overflow. You'll feel like giving. You'll feel like giving more and more. If your bucket is empty, you're trying to give, but you're not actually giving, you're going to dry out soon. So I'd say it's not a luxury. It's mandatory
Yes.
for everybody.
Super awesome. Thank you so much for those self-love tips. To those of you who are listening to us, can you please write in the chat box, I love myself. It's just a step that we are taking to grow that self-love in us. So we have one question here by Karishma Kadam. So she's asking, how do you approach those village women? They want to grow, but for them taking that one step is so difficult. I have same motto.
Okay. First of all, thank you for your question. How do we approach this? Because we're an NGO, we're also part of a network of NGOs. And so we have contacts within the villages for the NGOs that are already existing and have a relationship and rapport. हम उनके through जाते हैं. Also know in India there is a concept called SHG, self-help group, that are present across villages, which is a group of small women that come together to do savings, to get a bank account, bank linkages. So via those groups we enter into the villages. So that's, I hope I answered your question. That's our entry point. उसके बाद हमारा real work चालू होता है basically.
So I hope Karishma, you got your answer. Just write Y or yes in the chat box if you are able to get it. And if any one of you has any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat box. And welcome to all those people who are joining. A big shout out, because you are not here only for us, but you are also here for your own self development. Yes, nice idea. Great, superb. So now, like my next question to you is, suppose if a woman wants to take up a stand for her own self. So she wants to take up a stand for her own self regardless of all those limitations and restrictions. How can she do so? If suppose she's starting with her own self and she doesn't have any support. So this is
Okay.
the question.
Okay. So you want to pursue your dreams, but you don't really have support. So how do you take a stand is what you're saying.
Yes.
If you want to pursue your dreams, first of all, let's acknowledge, if nahi hai, what choice do you have? If you have a dream, a deep desire inside of you, you don't have a choice. You have to follow it. Otherwise, you will feel suffocated. You will feel unfulfilled. तुम्हें खुद को मजा नहीं आएगा. Therefore, if you have a deep desire, what I would like to tell you is you go, girl. You go for it. Your struggles will make your victory very sweet.
Yes.
Sweeter. Like, I deserved it. I did it. वो वाली feeling आएगी. And so, if you have to persist. See, strategies will differ according to where you are, what societal structure, what role, how much finances you control, etc., etc. So for strategies, have a one-on-one with me. But overall, I'd like to say that if you have a dream, you go for it. One step at a time. Remember this much, that the opposite people who are not that supportive are not aware. Once they become aware, once you gain your level of success, they will come around and be like, I knew it. I knew this girl can do it. So then that whole community will get formed by itself.
Superb. Super awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. So just go for it. You know, you already have that bigger person sitting within you. Just go for it. Follow her. Follow the goddess within you. And then when she is going to come out, the whole world is going to see you. So that's just a summary of what Vaishali ma'am told. Thank you so much for being for answering such an in a such amazing manner. You are answering questions in such a detailed way. Thank you so much. Now my next question to you is you have a concept of super Didi, which is like you are creating women change makers within the villages of India who are actually driving change, and they are bringing those communities together for the development. So it's not a competition, rather than a cooperation and a support, a community full of love and support. So basically, you can share about more about the Super Didi concept so we all can get to know about it.
You and I, हम मिलके कितना कर लेंगे development के लिए. There will be like a limit to what we can do. But women within the community, when charged up, can surely transform the communities. We're just calling them super didis. वो लोग तो हैं, they already exist. We're organizing them into a community. We're training, coaching them, giving them the resource, giving them the support, giving them the love, and just putting them back into the community. So their first task is to empower themselves, become financially independent, start their own income generation activities, and their second job is to contribute to the community. When such change agents maximize their power, change runs from bottom up. After 11 years into the field, we understood one thing, that empowerment is actually an internal process. Women empowerment, जब बोलते हैं, what all we were doing as an NGO was giving them external resources. Then we saw some women are not taking advantage of it at all. And then we came to know that actually it's the mindset. So now we're giving a combination of mindset support plus resources. And that supercharged woman is able to make the most of it. So we're creating role models at the grassroots level. We're calling them super didis because they are super amazing. They are our superwomen. And we aim at creating more and more of them. And honestly, we're just facilitating them more than us contributing to their lives. They are contributing to our lives. So I'm just very happy to be part of this project.
Wow, such an amazing thing. You know why? Because you and I, as you told, we can do like we can't reach everyone in this world. Even if we admire of reaching to every woman or every person in this world, we can't. But what we can do is we can create few more personalities. We can just train them, speak to them, and once they are trained, they are going to train other women, then other women, and thus lives will be start to transform. So it's all about the ripple effect. Superb. So just write down in the chat box to all those who are like listening to all of us. Please write in the chat box great work, or if you can write super Didi and heart. It's such a beautiful concept of uniting women. So now, now my next question to you is, the women's suicidal rate is also getting much higher and higher day by day. So if I talk about cities, villages, everywhere, every woman, like once a day around, I did a research or I studied about this concept. Like in a survey, it was written around 50 or 40 women die every single day just because of suicide. So what do you feel like? What makes them take this step? And how
I,
can they start to overcome it? So this is a question.
I would like to say that sadly, इस चीज में gender doesn't play a role. Men or women both are right now not prioritizing mental health. For the longest time, we've sort of, pushed it under the carpet. All the problems broomed it under the carpet. And सब ठीक है, कहाँ कचरा है? But कचरा इतना होता है ना मन में that one day that carpet will tear and it will all come out. That's the sad reality. For women particularly, I'd like to say women support women. Nobody understands you better than another woman. So reach out, create a support group, create your own tribe. Let you not come back and say, yaar, मेरे को कोई support नहीं करता. No, sorry, boss, create your own tribe. And if you find your tribe, stick to it. A place where you can just go and a person that you can just go and open your heart out to. And of course, if you see signs of depression, suicidal thoughts, or anything that's a red flag, seek help. Of course, there's no shame in seeking help. People all around you are more than happy to help. There are professionals, there are friends, there are family. Just seek help and it'll be fine.
Amazing. So, based on this question, like answer only that you gave, just have the courage and seek for help. Ask. So, not everyone, like no one in this world can be a mind reader. So, based on this only, I just want to ask, how can someone? This is not a like gender based, because both men and women, as you said, they are facing this problem. So, how can someone have that courage that they can start to ask people? Because in today's society mostly people think that what if she or he says no, what if they don't help me, what if they reject me, all of these doubts are पहले से वो हमें आने लगते हैं in both the cases. So what would you recommend? How can we have that courage to ask?
So I will say today, at least today in 2022, there are enough safe spaces. Okay, a professional, a coach is a safe space. If you don't have the courage to talk to a personal relative, friend, whoever, seek professional help. And that's also okay. Schools have counselors, workplaces have therapists, and even if not, Google karo, find your own therapist, go to somebody, talk to somebody. It's just about taking that one step. And today, if you're seeing this message is for you. I urge you to take the first step. When I was around, say, 10 years ago, I would have pretty much been there, that rock bottom. At that time, depression and all of that was not really a conversation, and therefore I didn't know where to seek help. I got lucky and I found spirituality. But it doesn't happen that way for everyone. And so I would say your change is in your hand, do it. Whatever you needed, do it.
Your change is in your hand. That was such an amazing thing. Are you saying something?
No.
Right. Okay. I thought maybe a network issue. So yes, all the people in the room, thank you so much for being with us. And I would love for you to just write down in the chat box, ask, ask, ask. Start to implement this principle of asking a lot more people according to the law of average. If you ask 10 people a day, one will say yes, definitely. So just wait for that person, and kudos to you for like being here, and kudos to you like Vaishali ma'am for asking all of these, like answering these questions in such an amazing manner. Hope you are enjoying.
Thank you so much, Gargi. I would say you are the platform. You are making this happen so that we all can talk. You're bringing good energy together, and we are very, very, very proud of you. Good job.
Thank you so much. One of the questions that I have for you is recently, like I saw your Instagram post, you were invited in one of the TED Talks. So congratulations first of all for being a TEDx speaker, because it takes courage, it takes a lot of effort that you must have put to get there. Hats off to your efforts. And to all the people listening, please write in the chat box, hats off to you, Vaishali, because reaching that stage is also not very easy. So my question to you is basically like, how did you feel when you were invited? Like, what was your experience? Any learnings you had?
I was super excited. I'm generally excited to talk on the stage, and if it was a TED stage, I felt grateful because it was a dream, and you get to live your dream in this particular life. So I was super excited. Having said that, I think my experience overall was like a very tummy full kind of an experience, like satisfied, like this is what life is made of. But my biggest learning was that vulnerability is strength, because it takes courage to go on stage and say your bare truth. Because everybody's going to be watching, it's going to be up on the website, but you are sort of bringing real change into the world by giving your authentic truth. And being that vulnerable on stage actually takes courage. I had to push myself to do that. But then I understood that it's okay, everybody has that in them. And if I can reflect that, and if I can give one answer to one question, that's my purpose served.
Wow, you are giving too many answers to our questions here. So hats off, and thank you so much all of you for actually writing that. Hats off to you and taking those action steps. Superb. And now my one of the questions that I have is basically, some people or some women in the village, or if I talk about in cities only, still they are not able to, take up the stand. There's some kind of mindset issue or limiting belief that they have. So like, is there any suggestion you would like to give to these women on how they can start to overcome these like limiting beliefs, and how they can adopt the principle of authenticity rather than fitting in?
Oh, that's a lot to learn in one life. But if there is a woman that's stuck, 50% onus is on the environment, but 50% is on you. And so I'd like you to reflect into the mirror and tell yourself the real truth as to what fear is really stopping me. From there, start your journey into taking responsibility for your own life and move ahead. There are enough and more role models available to you. Look around, consume the right kind of content, listen to the right kind of people, and push yourself, push your limits. Authenticity is just to tell your truth first, just to yourself. That you know what, this fear is actually stopping me, that people will start judging me, or I'll lose the appreciation that I have in front of my friends and family, or whatever it is. Just be that truthful and then say, okay, if it's just a fear, how do I overcome it? If it's stopping me, what will be my first step? That's the place to start, I would say.
Wow, we are getting so many bulb one moments from you. The way that you are sharing, like take up the stand, just tell the truth to your own self. Honesty is the first part towards authenticity. So, yes. So, one question is there from Karishma. Who were your mentors?
Oh, good question. Actually, I would say I had many mentors, many role models, many coaches, many teachers, mixing all the labels. But my first mentor was Dr. Shama Maitre, who is a leader of an NGO called Chinmay Organization for Rural Development. That was my first exposure to somebody who is transformative in her presence. Like she'll just stand and you'll know that, she really is authentically there to make a difference in the life of others. And my second most awesome mentor that I'd like to mention here is, of course, our goddess Puja Puneet, because she showed me that a woman can be a good wife, a good mother, and not even saying good, but just her own self and just own it and still have dreams, still fly. It's not a compromise, it's not either or. And she taught that by living it. And so, yeah, you can go follow her. I think she's both of our mentors.
Yes.
She's the one who's made us meet.
Okay, yes, thank you so much. I've just mentioned her name in the chat box also, Pooja Puneet. And one more name was there. Can you just repeat for all of us? Dr.
Sama Maitre.
Shama Maitre. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I hope, Karishma, you have got your answer and thank you for putting that question. Mine too. I think Pooja Puneet is all our, like, God is the topmost favorite queen of everyone. So now, one of the last questions that I have for you is like, is there any last message that you would like to give?
I think I like to conclude by saying the time of the women has come. Feminine energy is going to rule the world, and you better own it and live it. No hiding behind a curtain, no lessening your shine so that others are not threatened. Just own your energy and create the contribution that you were meant for.
Own it and live it, create the contribution that you're meant for. That was such an awesome lines. I would love for all of you who are listening to us, please give a heart emoji in the chat box, or rather than giving heart emoji, please write down I own myself, because owning happens. Like owning is the first step, acceptance is the first step, and then you can always lead your life the way you would like it to go. So just before I conclude it, one more question I have is if someone wants to connect with you, or any, like, to your foundation, to your sessions, if they want to attend any one of them, how can they like find them?
So I'm here on Instagram. DM me. The most common way. I am a millennial. I'll reply back and we'll connect.
Yes, so the most easiest way to connect with her is follow her. After do we have a recording? Yes, after the session, this recording will be uploaded on my Instagram handle. There I will tag her, and you can just go and follow her because she's such an transformational woman I've ever met. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, all of you, for listening to us and taking steps to change your life. It was such a pleasure to host you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gargi. Thank you everyone for attending. You've been amazing. You've been interactive. I don't know how you do it, Gargi, but the energy of the session was awesome.
Thank you so much. Already followed her. She's really amazing. Yes, I do agree. Thank you, Gargi, for bringing her. Thank you so much. And before I just end the live, tomorrow one more guest is there. Our third series, who is India's leading branding expert, Diya Asrani. I hope all of you might be knowing her. And if not, just prepare yourself for the magic that is going to happen. The same thing that happened today, like Vaishali ma'am created her own magic. Yesterday, Manisha Chopra created her magic. Tomorrow, one more person is going to bring her magic. And then I hope that after these 7 days, the person you are going to become is truly going to be like transformational. So thank you so much once again, all of you, and special thanks to you for giving me that opportunity. Lots of love. Bye.